What's good, YouTube? Dorsey Made Gaming here, y'all, and my computer is on the fritz, man. I have to get a new laptop because mine is out of commission. It's broken. It's gone. It's out of there. RIP DM Gaming's laptop. But, and I apologize, y'all, because I wasn't able to do the DM Gaming morning show because, of course, I used my laptop. But then I later found out that Spreaker actually has a mobile app. So technically I could have done it. So I apologize for that, and I'll probably do an afternoon show to make up for that. But I wanted to use this time. I needed to do a video, y'all, because there was really one topic that came up in the sports world today, aside from baseball playoffs, and that's Cam Newton. And I have to ask the question, is Cam Newton being targeted? Now, if you haven't been aware, Cam Newton is in the news today because of his comments during an interview with a female reporter. Well, there was a room of reporters, but it was a female reporter that asked a question about one of the receivers on the team, in which Cam Newton responded before answering. It's funny hearing a female or a woman talking about routes. And I don't know if he was joking, but the room was just eerily quiet. And this sent the world, in a sense, in an outrage. And people began attacking Cam Newton, so much so that one woman even, alluded to Cam Newton. Oh, he gets in the end zone and he throws up the black power fist and this and that. And then he just lost all credibility with me. And it's not a black and white thing, because there are black women who are also upset at this. But I was listening to the Mike and Mike radio show this morning, and they had Dan Le Batard on. They had Stugatz. I think it was Stugatz. Yeah, it was Stugatz, I think. And he, basically was asking them, and I agree with what he was saying. Are we blowing this out of proportion? Because let's be real, there's no news going on right now in the sports world. And the same thing that he alluded to, he was saying, that if there was something else going on in sporting news, would we be sitting here talking about this? And the answer is probably no. It's probably no. Now, let me get this out. What he said, was it wrong? Yes. Was it offensive? Clearly. But let's put this into perspective, because there's a lot of us who have played football, and even me to this day, I'm surprised when there's a woman that knows a thing or two about football. Not in a sense that you're a woman, you know football, but in a sense of, wow, you're a woman and you know football. Like, it's not seen very much in our society. Every guy has met a woman who knows football. I'm not talking about knows the big time players, but actually knows the X's and O's of football. And it's very surprising. I'm not saying that was Cam Newton's angle, because like I said, the way that he said it was kind of in a joking manner. Like, it's kind of funny how women, a woman is asking a question about routes, what did he mean? He could have meant that a lot of ways. And the female reporter did talk to him about it, confronted him about it after the interview, in which the Panthers released a statement saying it was a, regretful decision, things of that nature. But the female reporter, said that Cam Newton didn't apologize. Yet they are dragging him through the mud. And my thing is this, until Cam Newton comes out and says what was really running through his mind when he said that, all we can do is speculate, and all people are going to do is bash him for it. Because let's be real, he could have just meant it in that sense that, wow, look at the day and age that we're in, when a female is asking questions about routes. You don't see that kind of stuff. It's rare. Now you have females in the booth at sports games, female assistant coaches, female referees, and more power to them. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a spectacle. It is something that you just aren't used to seeing. That doesn't mean that it's condescending. That doesn't mean that it's a sexualized reference or whatever the case may be. No, But like I said, until Cam Newton comes out and says what was really on his mind about this, then we're not truly gonna know what was running through his mind. But I have to ask the question, because as much as Stu Gotts was drilling Mike and Mike on this, Mike and Mike would not bend or break from the narrative. They wouldn't. Now let's get this straight, y'all. When you're sitting there listening to these news outlets and the main people on the shows talking, you have to understand this. They are not going to say or do anything that is going to jeopardize ratings and money for their networks. So while Mike and Mike was sitting there basically sticking to their narrative that Cam Newton, this is a horrible, atrocious act, one has to remember that that doesn't necessarily reflect their beliefs as individuals. Not to mention the NFL. The NFL coming out saying that, oh, this is very disrespectful, this is a horrible thing to say, things of that nature. I don't feel like the NFL has any room to talk, especially with the Colin Kaepernick situation, which we know is very clear now that Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed by the NFL. So it's okay for y'all to bash Cam Newton about this, but y'all yourselves kept a good player out of the league just because he stood for something. And so me being an African American, I have to take a look and say, and the way that I see it is, was it bad? Yes. Did he have to say that? No, he did. He could have chose his words better, regardless of the fact. I wonder if a guy like Tom Brady said that. Would the people out there have laughed? Because right now, believe it or not, the people are mad and upset at Cam Newton. It was news Sunday after Cam Newton. That was all over news. Cam Newton throws up the Black Power fist, and they even asked him about it. Why did you do that? Black Power and this and that and this and that. When Cam Newton did that, he became a target. Cam Newton has already been a target. When he was giving footballs away and all that, everybody loved that. But as soon as he started dabbing and dancing in the end zone, people, oh my gosh. But then everybody starts doing it. And when you get to that level of stardom, people are just waiting for the slightest thing to trip you up and make you fall. Because even Levitard was saying this morning that, and this is true, Cam Newton does a lot of tremendous big things in the community. He even gives game balls to kids, which he, is not supposed to do, but he does it anyway. And Levitard is saying all these great things about Cam Newton, but Mike and Mike still, yeah, we hear all of that, but. And it's like, come on. Basically, what Levitard is saying is, look, the guy's not perfect. He made a mistake. Y'all are blowing this out of proportion, which they are. But Mike and Mike pulled the race card, man. They pulled the race card. They went straight out and said, I'm sitting here wondering, back in a time whenever, there was because black quarterbacks weren't well known or even around, in a time when a black quarterback had just came out. What if they said, wow, it's funny seeing a black quarterback knowing routes. And it's like, how does this become a racial issue? That is not even almost the same, because people weren't going around hanging and killing women. No, they were hanging and killing blacks. Women weren't slaves. Blacks were slaves. So that's like apples and oranges. I mean, yeah, they're both fruits, so there's similarities, but they're two different fruits. You see what I'm saying? So I think that was low. You know what I'm saying? And I really believe that Cam Newton right now is being targeted because of what he did after scoring that touchdown in Sunday's game against the Patriots. Because let's be real, if Tom Brady came out and said something like that, or Peyton Manning or somebody like that, the reporters, they probably would have been laughing. Everybody would have probably took it as a joke. Oh, he didn't mean it like that. He's just joking around. No. But it's Cam Newton. Cam Newton has been in controversy, and he's not even a controversial player. They didn't like it when he was celebrating. And they especially didn't like the fact of him throwing up the black fist after scoring a touchdown and coming out and saying that this is for Black Power. And now this comes out against this reporter, and it's like the worst thing in the world. Not to mention, they don't have any news in the sporting world today. So like Levitard said, have we had big news in the sporting world? Are we talking about this? No, but they spending minutes, almost an hour talking about this. I think he's being targeted, y'all. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section down below, y'all. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, y'all, and God bless.